Hello, my name is Kurt Brown, also known as Saint Rambone. I was a bank examiner for the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. I was attacked in 2001 after reporting money laundering and murder at the FDIC. The regional director had been killed in his office in San Francisco. According to what I was told, around 1990, and I was told it was most likely a murder. I worked there at the office in 2000, 2001. And they were very silent. It was almost like a taboo subject to talk about. I noticed what appeared to be crime syndicates. I believe we're involved with something we're not used to dealing with. We live in an era of technology. As you notice, the Canadian dollar has increased to where it is worth the same amount as the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is continuing to slip. We no longer have that huge amount of American-held corporations. Most corporations are from overseas. The thing I noticed about the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, what I saw was what was apparent money laundering. Bank charters were given to people who had connections into the Nevada casinos. I also saw other bank presidents who seemed really nervous when I was interviewing them. They had huge salaries, but with collusion, you cannot prove it. You cannot prove anything. The one thing you can prove is that the American dollar is slipping. We no longer have rights. I was forcibly injected and tortured. In World War II or afterward, they killed men for those sorts of crimes. That's where the Nuremberg trials came in. The American people seem to have gone deaf and dumb to our suffering. We do not care about each other, as evidenced by what happened to me and what happened to the regional director. Your best bet is to diversify your money. If you want to invest it in other nations outside of the regime's control. And I say the regime, they are international. All those nations who plumage Iraq, who did so with the help of the regime in power of the United States, and includes the United Kingdom, should be avoided. Avoid those nations. They are not like us. The ones who control my own native city in Mobile, Alabama, they beat me from my government. And they only did so after I had reported the attack on my life after working at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Your government is nothing. It is not a democracy, and should they be destroyed, you will be much better off to have some of your money invested in other nations. I see the United States is no longer existent. The ones that control are not us. They probably never were. We do not care if they go. And we do not care how. It's my hope another political party will come into place that will help the common people be able to get affordable educations, affordable housing, and start working on a plan to get us off this planet, because the polar ice caps are melting and the planet can only handle so much population. I believe we're being held back. This painting here was drawn right before I was arrested and tortured by the federal government. It's a two-layer painting. You can read about it at Mobile Audit Club's Quatrain 1 page. I call it a house talisman. I was offering for sale for $911 million. I will accept the best offer. If you have a large amount and want to put it into a trust, I will administer that trust with your approval to humane causes. It could be a mutual agreement thing. I'm not hard to get along with that. I know when people are suffering. I urge young people not to work for the federal government. I urge people not to have children anywhere near the government's facilities. That includes hospitals. I encourage midwives from your own family that you can trust, in locations away from any government involvement. You got to realize in the current situation, with the amount of hatred in the world and greed, they will caste set you. They can manipulate children's minds in more ways than one. The schools. I remember the Pledge of Allegiance. What a joke. Have a good day. This is Kurt Brown, St. Rambo, Mobile Audit Club.